Okay, we're here on this Monday with ETBU football coach Mark Sartain. Coming off of a weekend of practice in which, Coach, the official preseason part of the camp, training camp closed on Saturday with your last practice with your veterans, and you also had a scrimmage amongst some of your newcomers on Saturday morning. Just kind of fill us in on how things went Saturday, both at the close of camp for the veterans, and then talk a little bit about the scrimmage.
Well, we had what we felt like was a very productive, we call it an underclassmen inter-squad, where we allow all of our newcomers basically, and a few guys that are in their first season with us possibly, kind of line it up in scrimmage, get after each other at a full speed, no holds barred officials and all that kind of things. Tempo, got a lot of snaps. We went about an hour and 25 minutes, just rolling groups by series. We plugged our veteran players in the special teams. We allowed that to just basically be a special teams run through for them. So they were out there every time we scored, we kicked off. Every time we scored, we kicked an extra point. Every time we got stopped on third down, we punted, and we allowed our veterans to run out and do that. So we got 6 or 8 reps, 10 reps on many of the aspects of the kicking game, while the younger guys were playing offense and defense. Had a really good time.
Who are some guys that maybe stood out and had good days on Saturday? Maybe some young guys that we need to start, getting familiar with as fans.
Well, the obvious ones are our 2 freshman quarterbacks, just doing an exceptional job of picking up our offense and operating it and finding receivers. Of course, Anthony Morgan from Carthage and Connor Sharp from White Oak have both just, they've just picked things up extremely well. Of course, Anthony had come out of a system in which he's done a lot of the same type of reading and checking and decision making at the line. Connor's come out of a wing tee situation where this is all somewhat new to him, and he's just done a great job of picking it up. And both of them are making plays. I think we threw 3 or 4 touchdown passes on Saturday, combined, moved the ball well for the most part. Got a whole crop of tailbacks that all carried the ball and looked well doing that. A number of receivers that caught big passes and did big things. Offensive line is certainly a strength in this class. They're huge and relatively athletic for being the size they are. And so it's hard to. I haven't sat down and looked at the video closely, but those are the areas of excitement that we're feeling. It's the offense is very talented, very well in tune right now because basically those 2 guys pulling the trigger.
Obviously, with classes starting at ETBU today, your practice schedule is going to go into more of your regular fall week type thing. Even though you don't actually play a game you open your season next week, but there is a scrimmage coming up here Thursday evening out here at the stadium. Just kind of talk about that scrimmage a little bit and some things that are kind of on the schedule this week.
Well, we'll be scrimmaging a team from Mexico, Nuevo Leon, and they'll come in on Thursday. It'll be a 4-quarter game situation scrimmage. We're looking forward to being able to put all of our kicking game on the field. This will be the first time we've been able to do this in preseason, to where we can really get everybody out there and get everybody busy and involved. And then on Thursday we're going to send our younger guys, the ones that don't participate in that scrimmage on Thursday, we're going to send them to Southwest Assemblies for a scrimmage on Friday. They're in the Metroplex. So we're going to get all of our guys top to bottom some really good work against another opponent prior to our first ball game. This is going to be a real advantage for us.
A very important couple of days in terms of
really
getting ready
is.
for the season, isn't it?
Getting ready for a regular preparation in the season.
Let's continue now, Coach, our preseason look at position by position, and we're at the offensive backs part of this today. We're going to look at the quarterbacks and running backs, and also take a quick look at the tight ends as well. Talk first of all about the obviously we've discussed this a little bit in some earlier shows, but your quarterback situation on the varsity level. Just kind of talk about that a little bit.
Well, it's Sed Harris is our starter. Had a great year last year, and of course Seth Hubbard is our number 2 guy right now, and Seth has started 5, 6, 7 ball games for us in his career already. We feel like we have the luxury of quite honestly having 2 starting quarterbacks. But Sed brings a dimension to the field that everybody doesn't have, and as long as he's healthy and as long as he's making good decisions and operating our offense, it'll be his job to lose. Of course, Seth's right there anytime that we feel like he gives us a better opportunity to win a ball game, he'll be in the ball game, and he's just been great to have around. He's a coach on the field, and he's still got a lot of football left to play for us. Josh Logan, a sophomore, was our starting quarterback on the varsity last year. Is our number 3 guy right now, and doing a great job. We're going to start using him on some special teams. He's a gung-ho kind of real emotional football player. He's not just a quarterback. He's really just a football player, and so we're going to start utilizing him in some other ways and see if we can get him some snaps. And then, of course, in our freshman group, we've already mentioned, Anthony Morgan and Connor Sharp. Absolutely the 2 finest freshman quarterbacks we've ever brought in. Exceptional, just exceptional young men, exceptional talent and ability to run our offense, and a lot of success there. So we're excited about those 2 guys.
Of course, at tailback, a name that's very familiar to the Tiger fans, Jair Stover's back, a 5th-year senior with a redshirt season in there. Talk about him as well as some guys who may not be as so well known who are battling for some playing time there.
Well, Jair is a great all-purpose back. He's been our starter ever since he arrived, pretty much, because he could do so many things well. And for a smallish guy, he does a great job blocking. He's had a great summer. He's put back on some weight. He's a more substantial player. Now we're looking for great things from him again. Trevin Johnson, a sophomore from Eustis, will be pushing him hard for playing time. Trevin's a tremendous athlete. And then we got a whole herd of freshmen, at tailback.
There's a lot of RBs on that roster.
A lot of RBs on that freshman roster, and they'll find their way, and we'll probably use one of those on Saturday. We hadn't decided yet, who that's going to be. It's still kind of up for grabs. Tristan Meyer and Patrick Gandy are doing a great job for us at fullback on the varsity level. We've got a couple of young guys that are really doing a great job. So, it's a loaded position, and we're feeling good about it.
And then, of course, the tight end position, you got a returning player in Chad Bowers, who'll be a junior this year, a kid out of Mount Pleasant. And then also another senior in Fred Taylor, kind of the 2 big names that everyone might recognize a little bit at tight end position.
Right, Fred's a returning senior, has had a great offseason, just really been looking forward to getting this going. He's 6'3", 6'4", 235. Fred's become a great blocker. He's a great downfield threat for tight ends. Chad is also our deep snapper. They're both very valuable to our program. And then a sophomore, Dylan Yates from Eustis, is learning from those 2 guys and developing quickly. Then we got a couple of guys on the JV. One of them's Spencer Bournes from Longview High. Was an offensive guard for them. We made him a fullback, and then he found his way to tight end. He's just doing an incredible job. I think he caught a couple of passes the other day in the scrimmage. Just tickled to be there, and of course he adds a great blocker to have on that edge, as well as a transfer we've got there working with our younger guys. So, it's an adequately filled position we're comfortable with.
Okay, Coach. Well, there'll be a practice again this evening, and then we'll come back tomorrow and see how everything went.
All right.
All right.
We'll be here.